Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm excited to jump into today's deep dive with you. We're going to explore a pretty interesting development in the world of decentralized finance, something that could be a real game changer.
Definitely a fascinating one.
If you're like me and like to stay ahead of the curve, especially when it comes to new financial tools and opportunities, you're going to want to hear this.
Absolutely.
We're taking a look at Athena Labs. They've just launched something called sUSDe on the Venus protocol.
Right.
And TextCall had a great piece on it, so that's our source for today. Basically, we're talking about a new kind of synthetic stablecoin. But this one, it has some really unique features.
Yeah. It's trying to tackle a big challenge in DeFi,
Yeah.
earning yield on stable assets, but without losing that stability. It's a tough balance.
Makes sense. So before we get too deep into this sUSDe thing, can we back up a sec?
Sure.
For anyone who needs a refresher, what exactly is the Venus protocol?
Okay, so Venus is this decentralized platform, and it basically lets you lend and borrow cryptocurrency.
Like a crypto bank, kind of.
Yeah, you could think of it like a DeFi version of a traditional money market.
Got it. So you can deposit your crypto as collateral and then borrow against it.
Exactly. Or you can lend out your crypto and earn interest on that. So it's got options for different strategies.
And that's where this sUSDe comes into play.
Yep, right in the thick of it.
They're calling it a yield-bearing synthetic dollar.
Catchy, right.
It definitely grabs your attention. But what does it actually mean? Can you break that down for us?
Absolutely. So let's start with the synthetic part. This is what makes it different from your typical stablecoin, the ones that are backed one-to-one by, say, actual US dollars sitting in a bank somewhere. sUSDe maintains its peg to the US dollar through, well, it's called a delta neutral strategy. It uses the derivatives market to do this.
Okay, got to be honest, you're losing me a little bit there. Delta neutral. What's that in plain English?
All right, think of it like a tightrope walker.
Okay.
Have to constantly adjust their balance, right? Shifting their weight just so to stay centered on that rope. That's kind of what sUSDe is doing, but with derivative contracts.
So buying and selling these contracts to balance things out.
Exactly. It's minimizing its exposure to price swings. Like the tightrope walker, got to stay steady, got to stay pegged to the US dollar.
Love that analogy. So it's all about maintaining that balance. But then there's the other part, the yield-bearing aspect. Where does the actual return come from?
That's the really cool part. sUSDe gets its yield from two sources, Ethereum staking rewards, and then also Athena's own derivatives market.
So you get the stability of a dollar-pegged asset.
Right.
But you also have the potential to earn some passive income on top of that.
That's the idea. It's pretty unique, actually.
That's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Most stablecoins, if they offer yield, it's just through lending platforms.
Right, exactly. Adding those staking rewards, that's another layer of potential returns. It's a pretty big differentiator.
So let's say I have some sUSDe. What can I actually do with it on Venus?
Well, one thing you can do is use it as collateral.
Collateral first.
Borrowing other cryptocurrencies.
Now, I was reading about this Athena Points program. It seems to be connected to sUSDe somehow.
It is, yeah. Think of it as a loyalty program, like those frequent flyer miles.
Oh, okay.
But in the DeFi world, you earn points for different things you do within Athena's ecosystem. And using sUSDe on Venus, well, that multiplies your points big time.
So what are these points good for?
Well, they can unlock all sorts of cool stuff.
Like what?
Exclusive features on the platform, discounts on fees.
That sounds interesting.
It means you get to have a say in how the protocol is run.
So the more points you have, the more influence you have.
Exactly. It's a way to encourage users to participate in the governance of the protocol, really become a part of the community.
It's like a built-in incentive to get people involved.
Yeah, it's a trend you're seeing more and more in DeFi, this move toward greater community involvement.
Could be a really powerful tool for building a strong, engaged user base.
For sure. And Texicali mentioned one more thing. Venus is now featured in Athena's money market section.
Oh, right. What does that mean, practically speaking?
Visibility, pure and simple. Athena's a big name in DeFi. For them to integrate Venus like this, it signals that they believe in it, see the potential.
So more people are going to be exposed to it.
Yep. Could attract new users, bring in more liquidity, which in turn makes the protocol even stronger. It's a win-win.
All right, so let's recap. sUSDe, it's this unique stablecoin that offers both stability and yield.
Through the magic of staking rewards and that delta-neutral strategy with derivatives.
Right. And you can use it as collateral on Venus to borrow other cryptocurrencies. Plus, there's that Athena Points program, adding even more incentive to use sUSDe.
And this whole integration of Venus into Athena's platform, well, that's just the icing on the cake. Could lead to some serious growth down the line.
Absolutely. It's definitely an exciting development. But here's a question I'm wondering about. This whole model that sUSDe is using, could it become like the new standard for stablecoins?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? This combination of yield, stability, and community governance, it's a compelling package. And if it catches on, could it have a ripple effect on the traditional financial system?
Now, those are some thought-provoking questions. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Hmm.
Definitely something worth keeping an eye on.
As always, we encourage you to do your own research. Dig into those resources we mentioned and come to your own conclusions. The world of DeFi is constantly changing, and that's what makes it so exciting. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.